Hey folks, it's Professor DJ RTD rocking the mic, and I'm joined by Cut Fresh Patrick Klepek.
Wake up.
That was the most unconfident, sheepish record scratch noise I've ever heard someone make.
Well, since you've destroyed my confidence in Jet Set Radio,
Jet Set Radio crushed your confidence in Jet Set Radio. Look, it's not my
I started
fault.
to come around to your constant maligning of Jet Set Radio.
Listen, I loved Jet Set Radio
know.
when it came out on the Dreamcast.
I know.
I mean, it's, dare I say, an important game. You know, kind of
Sure.
one of the first games
stylistically, yeah.
One of the first games I ever saw of, polygonal games that had a very distinct sense of style, and that incorporated street culture in a way that didn't just seem completely corny.
Right.
Like it
Like a stereotype.
Yeah, it did a lot of things first, and it did them pretty well at the time.
It was a different time, Ryan.
It certainly was.
Gameplay
That
standards
Patrick.
were different.
They certainly were. So
How cameras worked were different.
There's having right analog sticks consistently on your controller. That changed.
This game was also, the Dreamcast was sort of a huge trendsetter in terms of online capabilities. I remember Jet Set being one of the first games where you could share your tags online. I remember doing that with the original Jet Set Radio the Dreamcast was the last time I imported games. More than getting one game.
For sure.
I probably owned more import Dreamcast games than I did domestic.
So just to kind of give you a look at some of the options here in between levels, it's there's the leaderboard over here, which you can see, how you're doing against your buddies. But the real thing here is the ability to create your own graffiti. Now, unlike the original Dreamcast version, you can't just import random images.
Right? Because now there are things like copyright.
Exactly.
And nobody was paying attention back then.
You can basically choose from these unlocked sets of different types of graffiti. All right, this will be what I'll tag for the small, medium, and large graffiti in the game. Or you can create new graffiti, which for the different sizes. Go small. You can put characters in. You can just go into freehand painting and choose colors.
So you can still replicate copywritten material.
You certainly could. Were you so inclined? I'm not going to go into the creation process, but that's there. It's basically intact from the Dreamcast version, except for that one minor thing of not being able to import stuff, which is both understandable and, somewhat significant, I guess, if that was one of the things that drew you into it. I never got into it, personally.
It was more something that was neat to dick around with as opposed to an important
Absolutely. It was novel as hell at the time.
Anything that was internet connected was, Samba de Amigo, which people like to herald as oh man, one of the first games with DLC. That shit was on the disc.
Yeah,
you were downloading files that unlocked songs that were included on the game that you bought. So
I've unlocked a couple of extra Jet Setters.
That game's
GGs.
awesome. Such good design.
I still always go back to Beat.
Yeah.
I still think he's the best designed of this first crew here. So I guess if you haven't played Jet Set Radio before, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's let's see what's left to clear here.
So is this still the first area of the game?
I believe so, yeah. So, we're on these inline skates and we're trying to collect these
He makes that look easy.
just hopping up like that.
That's not that simple.
So anywhere in the environment, and if you're a existing Jet Set Radio player, you'll notice that I'm using the right stick here to free move the camera around.
which is crazy.
Madness.
Dreamcast had one analog stick.
Yeah, so all you could do before was just use the shoulder to automatically snap the camera behind you. So you saw there was that green arrow there. Anywhere that you see an arrow, you can pull the left trigger, assuming that you have paint cans on you. You do a little graffiti. And that's all just, some simple left analog stick action there. And you saw I kind of just pretty easily and automatically magnetized to that rail. There's not much more to the grinding than just jump at it and hope you stick.
Yeah, which also, is one of those mechanics that I've been reminded, seeing the game now, felt really amazing at the time because it was brand new. But now, the lack of like an ability to maybe lock on to something specific seems to be pretty problematic.
There's that, and there's also just kind of a general floatiness to the controls here. And it will try and nudge you in one direction or another if it thinks there's something that you should be going to. So there's just this inconsistency of control a lot of the time, which can be frustrating. All right, so these red ones are the ones that we actually need to complete to finish the level. The green ones are just bonuses. So this is just, you know, moving the left stick around, and there's kind of like a handful of preset patterns that you're going to do that in. Now, this is my default movement speed, not super fast. If I pull the right trigger, I can move a little bit faster for a bit there, but you don't really get much faster than that. That's pretty much your top speed in this game.
And right now, you're kind of being left alone, but oh man, there are police in this video game.
Yeah, cops don't like it when you graffiti all over the place. So eventually they'll show up. This is still very early in the game. I thought I had more progress in this, but that's okay. This will give us some easy stuff to show off here. Let's see here. There's not really a trick system per se, but if you have enough speed when you're doing a grind and you jump off of a, whatever surface you're grinding, you'll, let me see if I can get this going here. You'll do one of those little things.
But that's more just, again, part of the style of the game as opposed to actually helping you.
Like there's a combo system here, but it's not really relevant to the gameplay.
Unless you're going for the leaderboard stuff, I guess.
Yeah, and there are achievements for doing like, 50 and 100 combo chains. So,
Let's look at
So there's no map?
There is no map, but there is, if I hit pause, I can go to mission map, and then I can see where the leftover things are. So there's one right over here. Come on, camera.
Yeah!
Come on, camera.
So yeah, one of the things you've been talking about is because you've been kind of, for quick look standards, you've played quite a bit of this game, really trying to root it out a little bit, and it sounds like the camera has been increasingly problematic. Not necessarily in this situation where it's pretty leisurely and you can kind of just goof around.
Yeah, anytime there's urgency, like there's that clock at the corner, but that's not too big a deal most of the time. But when you start getting chased by cops, which will happen, and they will become dogged in their pursuit. Let me see, enough speed going here. Oh, no, I fucked that up.
Are you trying to get over to that?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do this from up here or something.
Oh yeah, if you spin around on that one on the left.
Let's look at the front.
I mean, I will say, it seems, in terms of what you can reasonably do for a game without kind of getting in there and rooting out the mechanics, this is an amazingly well done port.
Like
if you just take it on a surface level, for what it can be, given what it seems like the modest. Oh damn it!
It's true to the source material. Absolutely, This is a nice looking version of the original Jet Set Radio for the Dreamcast. They up-resed it, they widescreened it. They didn't really mess with any of the content of it, for better or for worse, really.
Nice.
Woo!
And that's, I really feel like kind of all you can ask for something like this. But
then it starts to become a question of
like,
what is your nostalgia worth? What are you playing this game for?
Yeah.
And then also, is it worth having your nostalgia wrecked for a game that maybe you don't have a whole lot of interest in actually playing again? And is it more that this just reignites this idea that what you thought of Jet Set Radio in your mind, it doesn't hold up as much now, but that the fundamentals of Jet Set Radio and where they started to take them in future, which we have talked about how I care for that game less.
Yeah.
But a Jet Set Radio game would be just as relevant today as it was then. And the idea of making another one of these gets me pretty stoked. Not that I expect that Sega's actually going to do that.
Yeah, there's just the problem of who would you trust at Sega now to
Smilebit
do
does
it?
not exist. Smilebit's the one who made this, right?
These are Smilebit joints.
Back when goddamn, Sega's
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was no good.
Sega's multitude of studios were absolutely making some of the most progressive, interesting,
Oh yeah.
mechanically, stylistically,
Smilebit, UGA,
Yep.
AM2, like they were incredible studios putting out some really remarkable games. That was why you cared about Sega. That's why you were excited about that shit.
Yeah, like Sega was dumping money into a bunch of commercially questionable games and then really tried to push them. Like, remember Space Channel 5?
Yeah.
When they bought up all that advertising money with MTV, really trying to make Ooh La La into this big thing? Like now, like looking back on that, that's crazy. Like, what were they thinking? But it was, you couldn't help but root for them because it was interesting.
It was daring and it was weird, and yeah, there wasn't anything else quite like it. There's just this. Okay, we're getting into areas here that are going to do us no good. Oh, god damn it! God damn it! I hate this level design.
And this is maybe where, at first, the clock seems like totally fine, and then somehow it could probably start sneaking up on you.
It can. This is not really the worst level for that, ultimately, but it's more just okay. So here's a great point. This control on these half pipes. Like they hadn't learned the Tony Hawk lessons as far as like usability and being smart about how you handle these controls.
But it seems like stuff like this is where the floatiness can kind of backfire a little bit.
Definitely. I don't even know how to get the hell out of here.
So what is the ultimate goal in each?
So in
familiarize
each,
myself with the like end game mechanics of each stage.
In each stage, you need to. Yeah, I see. There's still 15 here.
So all these red ones.
So all these red ones, I gotta find and hit them. You can see here on this pause screen, it'll say I've got 14 left to clear. So, and the green ones are sweet bonuses if I can get them. Oh. But all I really need are the red ones. But it can
and yeah, like the lack of a mini map becomes really apparent.
The amount of time, and then there's the issue of like you've got some kind of three-dimensional spaces that you're dealing with, and the maps don't necessarily reflect that. So you can get to the point where you're like, the map shows an arrow here, but I can't see what it is that you actually.
Oh, you're not gonna make that jump.
Totally made that jump. Do not sweat my jump making abilities. Let's see here, and I can do a little like wall rides here. But it's really about traversal, finding these things, collecting all the spray cans you can.
Oh, it's massive. This is a massive one.
It's a big
old
one.
Like two large ones stamped together.
And I find sometimes that just there's these little things, the little graffiti controls are sometimes like really forgiving, and sometimes it seems like it's
especially the full circle ones. I remember always having trouble with because
it's
you
reading
kind of
some of
start
them
in the wrong
odd.
spot. That all of a sudden it.
I've even had it where like I hadn't even started turning yet, and something hiccuped, and it just said, "Oh, you screwed up," and struck me out for that, which was frustrating because, like, if you are under police pressure, which we haven't seen here yet, but if you're under pressure and you don't have enough, and you like have just barely enough spray cans, trying to go back and get the rest that you need can be really infuriating.
So like here's an instance. Like go back to that mission map. Like, where do I go?
Yeah, so now I want to get out of this area.
There's not even like a clear understanding of where the exits are. Which is fine when, like, let's say, I don't think the game should be like explicitly pointing out where all the optional spray cans are or spray points are, because those are part of the high score, so that should be an understanding of the level.
Yeah.
How you should traverse that. But when you're purely just trying to go for the completionist options, just to get through the stage, it's almost less against the port as much, because that starts getting into a.
I can't really level.
That's just an instance of the game having aged to a point where we've come to expect or demand certain things that are just more unforgivable these days.
Yeah, I won't. I'm not going to try and say that this game never had value, and I think it still does have value. But there's limitations, man. Games have gotten better and more sophisticated and more smartly designed in some ways. Lessons have been learned that didn't exist before this, really. All right, what do we got here?
You got what, like 7 or 8 more?
Get up on these roofs.
Notice some. You're almost out of paint game.
Here I am. Oh, let's see here, and yeah, there is occasional little hitching and hiccups. Actually, that's been weird for me. I haven't experienced that consistently. It's been on kind of specific Xboxes even.
You need paint cans.
Well, I got paint cans.
Oh, that is weird. I just noticed it now.
Yep.
Like, it's not even related to, say, the switching of the music.
Oh no, it'll just happen sometimes. Yeah.
It's not bad.
But right there, yeah.
But yeah, it's certainly.
It exists.
I wasn't noticing it until someone pointed it out. So.
And I'll tell you this, don't stop. Just once he gets momentum going, it can be hard to turn it around. Which again, we're actually kind of playing a pretty forgiving level of Jet Set Radio here right now.
Yeah, this is much more about exploration.
The stages where there's the cop pressure, shit gets pretty real pretty quickly. Oh.
There was
And a
another
little
one.
hitch.
Weird.
Yeah, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't experienced this on. I played this game on a couple of different Xboxes, and I haven't experienced it on both of them. So I don't know if it's
Level specific or.
Oh no, it's definitely, I've seen it across levels.
Oh, okay.
But just a little thing to be aware of that can happen.
Soundtrack is still as good as ever. Has not aged a bit. And in fact, it's been so long since I've listened to it.
What do we got here?
Still feels good.
6.
That's a lot.
Mission map. Nothing here though.
Nope.
God damn it. God.
Are you able to? I mean, we can try and look for more. Is there a way to back out and just go to another stage, or do we have to? See
Oh
this one
no,
through?
this is
This is the next area.
this is all just one area. But the map sections it out, so I have to figure out how to get to where I need to go.
Well, 235 seconds of counting.
I know.
That's actually not that long.
I know. Oh, that's not a door.
It's not a portal.
I thought it was a door. I thought it was a door.
I believe you. You sound you genuinely believe that was a door. I was wondering what you were doing.
Let me go into that door. Whoa.
Oh, that's sewage. Probably not.
Yeah, that's not gonna help me.
Do you have to go back in the sewers? I don't even know where that was.
That's not a door either. That's the door I was looking for.
That is not obvious, let's say.
Yeah, so I gotta go find the exit into the other area that I need to be in.
What's crazy is I was looking up, oh, I'm gonna butcher his name, like Hideki Nagamura, who's the man responsible for the soundtrack for this and Future.
Yeah.
Still works at Sega and basically did like nothing after this.
Huh.
Like, how is it that, unless it was all a conspiracy, I mean, he did, I think, the music for like Ollie King, which is like one of the arcade games not too long after.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds awesome.
It's an arcade game that came out not long after this series. But they just sort of squandered that dude. I was trying to look up, like, oh, what? This guy must have a bunch of soundtracks I just haven't listened to, and my nostalgia for Jet Set Radio is going to allow me to go back and discover these for the first time. And instead, I'm looking at Flashing Sewers and no additional soundtracks from that guy. So I don't know what happened, but Sega really needs to get that guy on something.
No, that's not gonna help me.
Probably not that boat. Are the rest of them here?
What do we got? We got 6 left.
1.
1 right there, so we'll get that. And then
So what happens if you don't get all of them?
you're done. If you don't get every single one of the red can
Oh, that is unforgiving.
arrows, it is extremely unforgiving. And it's not a game that really like teaches lessons through gameplay either. There's not
Well, you can imagine a scenario where you get through miss 2, but the only reason you missed the 2 is because you could never find them.
Uh-huh.
And
No,
then
I
you
don't have
start-
to imagine that scenario, Patrick. That's not something that's like a theoretical, all right?
And then you start over again, not having any lessons learned except, I don't know, I guess do it faster and hope you stumble across them.
Yeah, no, that sounds like my experience with Jet Set Radio. That's pretty fucking accurate. All things goddamn considered. All right, how do I get up there?
Can't go up that? Oh, there you go. Yeah, just jump up that. You know, just do that, Ryan. Come on.
Nice.
Come on.
Oh. Well,
All right, so now I need to figure out.
you have some to get 5 in the next 55 seconds.
Well, that's
This
not,
obnoxious amount of time has gone sideways.
that is not going to happen.
I don't even know where the next area is.
Yeah. No clue how to get
Not
to
a whole
it.
lot of times where I'd be requesting giant ass arrows in a video game.
But, you know, some giant ass arrows. How about it, huh? You know what? Let me go down this hole.
Okay.
Oh. Oh.
Clip it up. Clip.
Come on.
Clip.
Get out of it. There we go.
All right. 17 seconds. You got this.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, you've
Nope.
been here.
This is the place I've
Yeah,
been
you've
to
been
before.
here.
Great.
Oh no. Why'd I throw away the map?
4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And Yahtzee. Yeah, so if you don't get every single red arrow in the time allotted, you're boned.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not retry.
So you know, most of these 800 seconds. What is that? That's
It's like 15 minutes probably. No, less than that. 10 minutes?
12 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Let's say
if-
12 minutes.
If you don't get it in that 12 minutes, your only recourse is to go back and spend another 12 minutes trying to get it. So, and like, yeah, there's no sort of checkpoint. There's no sort of like, well, I found as many as I can. I'm gonna leave the level and
Right.
come back later or something.
And if you come back like, hey, this doesn't count for your leaderboard because...
Nothing counts if you leave a level, because there are some levels that have exits on them.
Right.
Um,
I've heard those aren't like properly marked or anything. Like you
No,
can
no.
accidentally go through
you
an
could
exit.
you could totally accidentally, because once you start getting momentum going, then like the thing pops up on the screen that says, "Hey, you're in an exit." It's like, oh shit.
That
Well, I
seems
guess the
unfortunate.
only other level I can't go. I'm surprised I can't go back to previous levels. I would have thought. So, kind of one of the other level styles here, because there's the ones like we just saw. I might actually go back and start just like a fresh save so people can see some of the cop action. But
Oh, I remember this
additionally,
stage.
oh yeah. Additionally,
Oh,
there are levels.
I bet this is not that fun.
No, I'm not gonna play the whole thing because I hate it so much. This is. I got to this and I don't want to play the game anymore.
I think this is where you're yelling at your desk.
So.
But you've got 800 seconds, so we'll
oh, okay.
figure it out.
Okay. So we've got these 3 guys, and I have to basically take down their full life bars by tagging the shit out of them.
Okay.
The thing is that they can move as fast as I can,
Oh.
and when they're together like that, they can always knock me down. You can see they got a little number 10 next to their names.
Oh, you missed it.
Yep. And if you miss anything on your little course here,
Nice.
They'll just basically get ahead of you.
they'll beat you. Yeah. If you don't hit every jump,
Man, we are hitching up a storm.
yeah.
And you don't even have any paint cans.
Yeah, I gotta get these paint cans going first. Oh.
It seems like
And there's just a lot of, like, I'll be pushing straight forward on the stick, and it will just decide, oh, you want to go to the left, huh? It's like, no. I know you think that there's something cool over there. But then,
Up.
trying to
Up.
get, no. Again, trying to turn, trying to change your direction or your momentum with any sort of specificity or speed is really fucking hard.
So
'cause
you
the
say
game's-
that Future has a better boost mechanic?
yeah, it has a boost mechanic.
Okay.
There,
Oh.
I was pushing just straight forward, and it said, "No, how about you fly off to the left for no good reason?"
Well, how else are you going to use all these 800 seconds?
Hitch.
Okay,
on.
okay.
On.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, but then they go this way.
Oh. So you have to hit them 10 times each?
Yeah,
You're shitting me.
I am not.
That is 30 times.
I know. It's hard. As you can see, I have not hit them
Oh.
once yet because they can move exactly as fast as I can, and they always leave a little bit ahead of me.
Oh, there you go.
It's basically you have to catch them slipping like that.
And then you can nail them a couple of times.
Yeah, then you can get a couple
Okay,
hits
all
in.
right. Okay, that seems
But then
slightly more reasonable.
anyway, I hate these levels.
Okay.
Like I could still find something to enjoy out of the like hunting around and doing the graffiti levels, especially ones there are some levels in this game. The one that I showed is not a great example of this, but done. Done.
These stages sort of especially removed from the original game's context. The mechanics just don't work.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the weaknesses of the mechanics are exposed in those stages.
Far more
fully.
so, but the best levels in this game are the ones that are basically big circuits where some well-timed jumps and, you know, occasional kind of wall rides can get you doing just a big loop of grinding.
And you're tagging.
You're
and-
tagging while you're in motion, and it feels very dynamic, which is just not at all the feel that you get from some of the other levels. So yeah, it's like this game starts out okay, and the second level is pretty much one of the worst levels, with like a lot of weird platforming and just a lot of time burned, like walking up and down staircases. You know, tight areas that aren't good for the camera. They just don't work well for it. And let's get a system here. See if I can reload this thing. Yeah, let's return to the title. And then after that, it picks up as it gets into some levels that have these kind of more circuit-based qualities, which is something that they really lean into hard in Jet Set Radio Future for the
Right.
original Xbox. The sequel to this was a lot more. It was almost like a racing game.
There's a lot of verticality to Future as well.
And there's that. Yeah, there's a lot of verticality, and there's a lot less just free skating. There's a lot more like you're relying on these set grind paths that if you hit them right, you know you'll move along nicely. So
I also think the tagging in Future is just tapping a button. Like there's no more of that hitting up, down, circle stuff.
yeah, it's more of a throwaway thing. Which like there's something to be said for the more sophisticated tagging system in this.
Right.
And I feel bad that we haven't seen any
Coppers.
DJ Professor K
Oh,
or the Cops.
Somewhere in Asia.
Although DJ Professor K sounds completely fucking blown out. Listen to this.
But everyone just calls it Tokyo. The two hottest things in the
Yeah,
city
he does.
of Tokyo, though,
I wonder if that's just,
magnetically driven inline
a
skates
consequence of the
powered by
assets they're
Junior
dealing with.
Network,
Also, another nice little fun
pirate radio station.
piece of this game came out like 2000.
Professor K.
Another fun piece of kind of
Those street
era
cars named Rudy's.
detritus
Tokyo, though.
is and this is by virtue of, you know, game produced in Japan. They had English voice actors, but some Japanese dudes were writing all of the dialogue for this.
However, ever since the metropolitan government and the
So
conglomerate
when the call comes, the police call comes over the radio, and they're telling people that if they see anything to dial 911.
crackdowns on the Rudy's,
It plays a little differently now than it did then. Then it was just like,
Oh, wow.
you silly Japanese guys, you don't know that we call it 911.
are ready
Oh,
to
wow.
explode.
Yeah, so, you know, Jet Set Radio foresaw the future, I guess. Some like,
Dark.
really dark, tragic kind of
Dark.
way.
Hey, you!
Oh, she's gonna make me go through this tutorial stuff. I know how to do this.
Don't worry, we're just listening to different parts of the soundtrack, all of which are great. That's how I'm looking at this. Oh man, have you heard Dragula? Why have you been playing this?
No, I don't believe that's in it.
No, they put out a trailer. Did they like remove it?
I haven't heard it, but maybe that's just way deeper into the game. Well, hell.
They know that no one's gonna make it to the end. So if you do make it to the end of this hellish experience, here's some Dragula. 'Cause it was totally in the original.
Yeah.
And they put out a trailer. I remember being upset about it on Twitter.
So this is Jet Set Radio. This is available now at Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network.
How much?
I believe it's $15.
That sounds about right.
Kind of a bummer for me. I have found this experience to...
And almost, and like again, like not really any fault to Sega or the studio that ported this. It's more just,
Let's look at the.
Jet Set Radio has not aged as well as perhaps I would have liked it to.
Yeah. Ultimately, that's my feeling on it. It doesn't seem like an incompetent port job or anything. It's just that this is how the game played.
Yep.
It still plays the way it played. It's just that kind of the standards for this stuff have changed pretty radically in the 10 years since. I still think the look is stunning, and the soundtrack is pretty singular as well. And so if you're looking to just appreciate those parts,
Just know what you're getting into.
exactly. That's
It's more of a historical artifact that now, not even like that game looks cringeworthy, but they've updated it so that it still looks pretty nice on your modern sets, and the aesthetic definitely holds up.
But if you want to have more fun, go pick up a copy of Jet Set Radio Future for the original Xbox. It'll play on your Xbox 360. It's backwards compatible, and that actually stands up significantly better than this does.
Huh, interesting.
I actually dusted that off recently. In fact, maybe I'll bring that into the office and we'll take a look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just to compare and contrast a little bit. But
maybe you'll take me full circle.
yeah, bring you back and you'll realize, holy shit, Jet Set
Finish
Radio
the
Future.
argument. I was just wrong when this came out.
No, at the time, that was fine. But
No, but when Future came out, I was a staunch.
okay.
Go fuck yourself, Jet Set Radio Future.
All right. Well, let's
Maybe life has changed. Maybe I've calmed a bit. I was a teenager back
it's worth
then.
looking into. But Patrick, thanks for taking this trip down memory lane. As
This is making the game look really cool right now.
it certainly is. And there are cool parts of the game, but as you saw, I think we showed some of the
Yeah.
the less enjoyable parts, which are there for sure.
Sure.
Anyway,
All right.
that's Jet Set Radio HD. Patrick, thank you once again.